back, Rewatchers Council Angel Edition, live on a Friday. Not only is the show back, but also back. One of the original council members here, Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia, how the heck are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm not bragging that I'm doing all right or anything like that, but I'm doing just fine. Okay, so we're here to talk about Guise Will Be Guise, one of your favorite episodes of Angel, and that you completely remember everything about it, right?
No, no. I found out that I was going to be on the show a little late today. I was busy doing other things. I didn't get a chance to rewatch this episode, so you're just going to have to tell me about it, and I will comment on what I remember.
Sure. So essentially, this movie or this show is basically like the movies. Like, do you remember? Like, remember in the '80s, they had that thing where a guy pretends to be someone else, and he gets the girl, and then all of a sudden it comes crashing down on him.
Oh
All
yeah,
within
yeah,
90
yeah.
minutes. They do that within 47 minutes. In this one. So if you've seen like Secret of My Success or Overboard, I think was another
Overboard's
one
a big one. Yeah.
that was like this. At first, I was thinking this is much more problematic these days. Probably wouldn't fly in the millennial era. And then I had to think back to 2000 and stuff like that. It's like maybe they were just having fun with this thing, and it's all just a show, and don't get too into it. But it's written by Jane Espenson, so of course a huge contributor to Buffy, not only through the show but afterwards with the comics and stuff like that too. A
Mm-hmm.
huge, like a very prolific writer for the show. Not
Mm-hmm.
for Angel. Now, this is going to be the last episode she does. I mean, she only ever did one before, and that was a co-writing one. But like you can think of some of the episodes she's done: Band Candy, A New Man, Superstar. Those are just some of the ones we've gone through. So some of the classics of Buffy. This one not a classic. I
Yeah.
wouldn't consider this a classic whatsoever. Now, it's directed by Krishna Rao. Again, this is the only episode that they direct in the
Mm-hmm.
entire series, but we have a Rewatchers Council about Dawson's Creek, and she'd done some work on that. The Unit, 90210, Adelia,
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii 50, and Magnum PH. I guess they decided to, they like the warmer climes later on in their career. Well, if you can do some television work over in Hawaii. Why the heck not do it? Also,
Yeah.
there's a cameraman for Star Trek Generations and, the original Halloween, for God's sakes. Rock and Roll High School, the Ramones. I know you're a big fan of the Ramones,
I do
as
like
am
the
I.
Ramones.
They call me Bruce. And I had to add, they were also the camera person for Break Into Electric Boogaloo, maybe the finest named movie of all time. So we have a guest star alert here, Adelia.
Okay.
Art LaFleur
Art LaFleur.
plays the thing called the Tish McGev. Of course, another fantastic character actor, noticeable for me mainly by playing first baseman Chuck Gandil in Field of Dreams. But anyone who watched like The Sandlot, I know The Sandlot got real popular. Still never seen
Yeah.
it, but I guess he
I've
was in The
seen
Sandlot
it.
too.
This is the guy you put the picture of in our Discord. I don't
Right?
remember him. I've
Yeah.
only seen The Sandlot like once. I've only seen Field of Dreams like once. So
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Well. So you're not a 51-year-old man who.
no, I'm not. Believe it or not, shocking as that may be, I am not a 51-year-old man.
Right. Well, speaking of someone who's a 50-year-old man, seen the movie, let's say a few times. Let's say a few times. If you build it, they will come. And if you're 51, you watch it. Now,
Yeah.
so yes, so just keep that guy's face in mind when we get to who Tish McGev is. So it starts off. Guess what? Wesley's a bit of a klutz.
Shocking.
Yeah, they can never decide in these early episodes what Wesley quite is. Is he more dapper, more stoic, or is he basically a bumbling fool like an English Inspector Clouseau or something like that? Anyways, a guy comes in with a mustache and a deep voice. A guy that I have no idea why this guy would ever need Angel for anything. Anyways, he started calling him Angel's secretary. Why would he bother with him? This kind of thing. They're just setting up what's going to happen here with Wesley. He doesn't like the fact that he's not considered an associate. He's an under
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah. And he doesn't argue about anything, but he just says he's an associate. Cordy comes in and like he's wearing perfectly fine clothes. The typical Wesley wear. Maybe some khaki Dockers and a buttoned up shirt. Cordy comes in and asks if he has any men's clothes.
No, that's just not right.
They're just on the attack. Like he's just fine. Like this is the year 2000. What's he supposed to be wearing? A little ridiculous. Anyways, got an Angel. Angel still has this thing about Darla. Clearly, anything about Darla in this episode is shoehorned in. This is an episode that could have aired anytime. Probably was supposed to happen beginning of the year, maybe even beginning of last year. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they shoehorned it in. They've done this with Buffy and stuff like that. So they had to figure out something to do to kind of get the story crossing how they built up this whole Darla thing, and then just cut it out. Because until next week with an episode called Darla, where they remembered, oh yeah, there was somebody that we were doing something about. So Gunn, Angel, they go over to Wolfram. Angel's had it. He's gonna go to Wolfram and Hart, give them a piece of his mind or something like that. So they, go the usual route through the sewers for a bunch of lawyers. Yep. Cash. Let's say they're flush with cash. They got a nice big building. Why would they have a man-sized grate that leads directly from the sewers in your lobby or basement right by an elevator? Why would they think no one will ever use this for nefarious means?
I don't know.
Anyways,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it is within reaching distance of the elevator, so they're going to try and get in there. Somehow, Wesley and Cordelia have stopped them from doing this. Angel's, refusing to listen to reason here. He's going to go, set off the vampire alarms or whatever that they got there and stuff like that. And his big way to trick him is he's just going to walk fast. He's going to make sure he walks fast so that by the time he gets to Darla, they won't have caught up to him, which is pretty smart.
Sure.
Anyways, there's a security guy that shows up. You remember those security guys have those stakes that come out of those baton kind of things. Kind of a fun, handy thing to have. Not something you'd probably get at your local, army surplus or whatever it is. So he was like, oh, there's Angel. We know about you. So he whips out his stake things. Angel grabs the guy's thing and stakes him through his own foot, somehow sticking him to the floor. And then everyone says, close enough. We'll go home now. They never even hit the button to get the elevator up. Ridiculous. Anyways, well, that's what you get when you force continuity into a television show.
Yeah.
So, now, Angel is off to Caritas, speaking with the host, because we can't say his name yet, Adelia, because they haven't said it, which is kind of ridiculous by now. This time, though, he doesn't have to sing. I think Gunn was there. He's kind of relieved. I would have been more curious myself. I would have wanted that bugger to go up there, sing some Manilow. But the host, decides to give the audience a break. And also, he says, also Mr. Manilow. I guess just Angel singing the songs is enough just to ruin Barry Manilow's reputation. Anyways,
funny thing about Barry Manilow.
Sure.
When my sister was 15, she started getting all this mail from the Barry Manilow fan club. Someone put her name in for that. She had no idea who Barry Manilow was at that point. It was so funny.
Growing up, my mother had quite a few 8 tracks, and you remember the age, of Barry Manilow, so I remember listening to those quite a bit when I was a kid. And as far as like mail and stuff like that, well, I never got anything like that out of the ordinary. One thing I did do is that there was a grocery store near my house, and they had these pamphlet things and stuff like that. If you mail away, you can get literature. This is a pre-internet days. I think I was 17, 18 years old, and I grabbed one and I filled it out and put my buddy's address on it. One of the world's most stupid idiots, Dan Miller, and it was literature on incontinence. I wanted to have some literature on bedwetting. As far as I
Oh
know, he
boy.
didn't wet the bed. At least after that, so it probably worked. Just so you know. So
Oh
the host gives the address to this guy called the Tish McGav. It's a Swami kind of guy. He's gonna help out Angel, maybe work through some of his problems and stuff like that. The host says he's gonna do some chakra shocking, if you know what I mean. So I didn't. I just thought it was nice to have the word chakra shocking in there. It'd be a good name for a glam band or something like that. So
Sounds like Shaka Khan's backing band.
Chaka Khan. Now that's going to be in my head. Thank you very much. So that's going to leave Wes and Cordy to mind the shop all by themselves. Angel gets out to that cabin in the woods. It's a good thing he has that convertible that he can drive out there with. He gets to the Tish McGav. The Tish McGav, not what he expects at all. He's just wearing a flannel shirt. This looks like he's been washing dishes. And that's the aforementioned guest star. Here, Art LaFleur as the Tish McGav does not seem like the Swami type at all.
No.
Maybe for good reason. We'll get into that in a minute. So, Cordy is now getting threatened by a goon over at Angel Investigations. They're at the hotel there, looking for Angel on behalf of his boss. Yet another case of a goon, maybe on the wrong coast. This seems more like a New York style goon. If you know what I mean.
I do.
Which they've done a few times on the show, when they should have just set the show in New York. It would have worked just fine. They have sunshine.
Buffy conveniently come in for a few episodes.
Twice. Yeah, they do all this so she can show up twice. And anyways, Wesley's going to hear all this stuff, and he knows Angel is going to make it, and if the guy has the gun now, it's like, if I don't get Angel right now, I'm going to shoot you in the head kind of thing. Wesley springs into action like Superman in a phone booth. You see him walk away.
Imagine Wesley is Superman.
He walks one way, walks back another way, wearing that black trench coat of Angels and stuff like that, saying that he's Angel now. So
that's right. Yeah, this is the episode where Wesley impersonates Angel.
Wesley's gonna impersonate Angel. So yes, and now they're gonna switch back. They're gonna do a lot. I think, you know what? For all this thing about the Tish McGav, and we're gonna get into more. I think he was a really good character. It was a nice sounding board for Angel. Angel needed someone to talk to, maybe somebody to challenge him on some things. They start making small talk about Angel's car, and the Angel said, well, he needed it, and now the Tish McGav has encapsulated that everything's wrong with Angel can be explained with the car. And then you ask why he hates himself and stuff like that. He's making good points about how it's black, and why would a vampire have a convertible in Southern California? Those kind of things. Well, he said, well, you can put the roof up and you can drive at night. Anyways. Says that appearances are very important to Angel, and then gets deep about Angel's reflection. Not the one that he can't see, but the reflection he gives off to others. Adelia. Okay. It's kind of swammy. So Wesley's now going to, again, follow these New York style fellas back to this nice big place where a meeting's being held between families. This place is very nice. Anyways, lots of magical looking dudes in robes around for some reason. Wesley, of course, just starts to walk in, catches himself real quick, goes, whoop! And the guy says, I invite you in, and stuff like that. Okay, great. Now, Wesley got invited in as Angel. I'm just going to point this out a little later. Anyways,
Okay.
he gets invited in. He oversees, this is when he sees that mob meeting here. He's going to get told. The guy's name is Mr. Bryce, the guy that wants to
Sure.
hire them. He needs him to protect someone, being very vague at first about who he has to protect. And then he gets handed a cup of blood. Says,
Oh,
you know what?
Wesley.
Don't be shy. I'm in the wizard business. One thing we know, it's blood, and also it's fresh. I'd like to know a couple of things. How fresh? How fresh is that blood?
Yeah.
But they also don't say if it's human or not, and I also don't know if that matters. If it's
Sure.
they have a nice big thick pint of some blood,
Yeah.
so Wesley takes like a few swigs of this thing, like blah, blah, blah. Like he
Sure,
wasn't fooling around.
Wesley.
He gets it down, then looks around, and then he pours this thing out. It There's this big vase, a tremendous vase, with some water in it, but it's clear. He just pours a bunch of blood to a
Sure, Wesley.
clear vase. We get told that all these folks are in the family wizard business. It's a business.
Sure.
Yeah. The guy Bryce was talking to, turns out his family in the wish granting business.
Okay.
You
Lots
know,
of businesses going on here.
you know what? They're two recession-proof businesses. I can tell you that. Everybody's
Yes.
going to need a wish. Everyone should need some wizarding, no matter what's going on. I
Yes.
don't care if there's
Absolutely.
inflation. Never caught. It's inflation-proof business. What are you going to do? So now, Bryce now says he needs Angel/Wesley to protect his daughter. That's who it's going to be for, of course. But he's going to get paid. Don't worry about that. I'm going to give him some money. Then we go back to the Tish McGav and Angel. They're about to spar to see if Angel's been fighting himself. Well, he's getting deep here, this Tish McGav guy. Then we see Wesley introduced to Mr. Bryce's daughter, Virginia. At first glance, I would, and I don't mean to be rude, but I would place her age in the 30s, like in like in the early 30s. She doesn't seem like she's not a kid, which is good, especially
That's
for
good.
what's going to happen in about 25 minutes. So Wesley's goes in there. He starts looking. He's being very Wesley as Angel like. Sees a mirror. Looks at himself first, reminds himself in about 2 seconds, like that's probably not great. And he screams or whatever. It's like he wants the mirror covered up because of for tactical reasons. You know,
Tactical reasons.
yeah, and it's a whole fighting strategy thing. So he's going to speak to her alone now. He's going to try and level with her and assuring her that he does want to protect her. Like, don't worry about that. She fully thinks he's a vampire for whatever reason, even though he's wearing glasses. I've only ever seen one other vampire wear glasses in the show, and that was that one lackey of Spike and Drusilla. So we said she wants to go for some shopping. And Wesley, he's like, well, it's getting a little late at night. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, yeah, that's I guess much better than it is in the morning. So yeah, we should go do some of this late night shopping you want to do. So back at the hotel, you got Cordy and Gunn now. So she's letting him know what's up. She has Gunn go find Angel. You know, she doesn't know the address, but how many Tish McGavs
Could
can
there
be around?
possibly be?
Well, you'd be surprised. I guess you'd be surprised. So she's going to get to work on who took Wesley. So we see that Virginia, even though she's in the family, the whole family business is wizard shop stuff. They go to a wizard shop. I guess it's her father's birthday coming up.
Ah,
Got to get him something here. You know, a shirt or a tie is usually a good present, but she wants to keep maybe she wants to keep tradition alive. Get
maybe.
some kind of wizardy doodad, I guess is what you're supposed to do. She says that this goddess Yeska is guy's absolute favorite. Then he uses this. Wesley's like, "What do you think of this talisman here?" Shows him this gold talisman, and it's a good thing. Wesley is a watcher because he knows. Yeah, gold maybe not the best. It will melt the first time he tries to use it. Just get good old iron. It's like I've always, ideally, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Iron talismans are the way to go.
Sure.
Not gold.
Absolutely.
I don't care what the gold talisman guys try and tell you. Their stuff isn't very good. Looks nice though. Anyways, she insinuates that he loves all this magical stuff even more than he loves her. You know what? Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah, Wes is trying to assure her, no, he loves you more than all this magical baloney. I don't think she's buying it. Then she's going to notice that Wesley's hand has been on this helmet, the cross on the top of it. Ask if, doesn't that hurt?
Oh, Wesley.
Yeah. Oh, the hijinks. So, yeah, and then he sticks his hand in the big thing of conveniently placed ice. And then he complains about how cold the ice is. So she still has not caught on. This man is no vampire, by the way. Anyways, meanwhile, while they're there, a couple of the goons try and kidnap her. She's got to have a rough life. She's been trying to get kidnapped her entire life, it seems. But just the name Angel is enough for these guys to back off. All Wesley has to do is, I'm Angel. And he keeps saying the vampire with a soul. He wants Angel to have that like a tagline. He wants to tagline it. So this turns out Lanier, the wish guy that was meeting with the Mr. Bryce earlier, he is the one who's hired them to go try and get the girl and stuff like that. He says to them, you know what? Tell them to forget all about the girl. Don't come around the girl anymore. So they leave. And so Wesley and Virginia are going to leave now as well. Was that a birthday present? By the way, maybe that's something she should have got before.
Maybe.
It's a last minuting your dad's birthday present. So you see Angel now sparring with those wooden sticks like they're Ninja Turtles. They're with the Tish McGeff there. They're on a covered bridge, Adelia. It's like it's the bridges of Madison County. But with stick sparring. So he wants Angel to fight him, not himself. Just pretty deep. Angel has a breakthrough now. Says if he lets it go, it'll kill him. And Tish McGeff is questioning it. Oh, the demon, of course. And Angel's, things are coming to the surface here for Angel. He then takes Angel down, no problem. This Tish McGeff. And, Angel's, he's wondering why Angel thinks that it doesn't control him and stuff like that. Then we find out, of course, that this Tish McGeff is a phony because he says a phone call and he works for that Lanier guy, supposedly kills this other Tish McGeff guy. How would this guy know? How, like, this kind of things, like if this guy is a hitman, I'm imagining since he killed this other guy, how would he know all of this other business about Tish McGeff? How would you be, unless he's like also a licensed therapist / hitman, which would also be a very good television show to watch. It would be a very good television show to watch. It would be a very good
television show, but it would be bonkers.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, and also strong enough to defeat a vampire in combat. Well, not like to the death or anything like that. Anyways,
makes no sense.
So yeah, also it means that Lanier knows that the angel that's around Virginia is also an imposter. No one has actually seen at all in this entire episode. Nobody has actually seen except for like Cordy, Angel, and Gunn.
Cordy, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody else. Motives here. So Cordy is now looking to see. She's got to find a picture of this goon guy. Well, she's on the this huge MacBook that they had circa 2000. They
Yeah.
had like a celebrity magazine. She starts leafing through it. Oh, celebrity pictures, page 48. And for some reason, in these pictures, there's a picture of Mr. Pryce, Virginia, and the goon. She's like, hey, that's them. Lucky, lucky thing that she had that.
Convenient. Lazy storytelling.
Yeah, they had it right there. Anyways, so we go back to the Casa Bryce here. Virginia is now pouring her heart out to Wesley in her room. You know, and it's about how she feels like her life's been wasted. She's just always wanting to start Adelia, but doesn't. And then they notice two robe guys by the door. And then Wesley takes them out because they come after him, start to fight him. Virginia's, of course, impressed. Also curious why Angel just didn't vamp out. She knows he's a vampire. Why don't you use your vamp face? Again, this girl asks all the right questions and just can't get the answer
Does
that
not come
she
to the right conclusion.
not at all. So the real Angel is going to continue confiding in the fake McGev guy. He tells Angel he's obsessed, or he tells McGev tells Angel that he's obsessed with Darla. Somehow, I don't know how they've made this a thing, and wants to both punish and thank her. And that he needs to get over her, for his own good. Then explains a scenario of how to get over her, which is mighty familiar. Harkens back to a young girl, Sunnydale. Basically explains what happens between him and Buffy here, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, back at her room, Virginia and Wesley are going to chat on her bed. Oh boy. They seem very at ease with each other as they've gone very close in the last 2 or 3 hours that they've known each other. She tells that Wes that in his way, her father thinks if she left, it would kill him. Which is, well, we'll find out. And it would be all her fault if it did. Like, she has to carry all this guilt about a man who she doesn't believe truly loves her anyways. But Wesley, of course, is going to do his best to reassure her. And then they begin, reassuring each other. I think is a nice thing to say. Then she brings up, that she knows about the curse. Now, we're going to go back to Angel talking to the phony baloney guy about that curse at the same time, which is very convenient. He seems to be, well, whatever. And then we go back. Wesley now is going to seem taken aback. He's going to start telling Virginia that this whole curse thing has been misinterpreted. Says it's more of a hex or, a recommendation. Maybe he shouldn't do these things. She wants the truth. So he's like, all right. He's about to tell her the truth, but something gets lodged in his mouth at the time, so he can't. It turns out to be her tongue. So we're going to see Gunn in the morning finally find that cabin. I have no idea how he would have found it.
No idea how.
He, Google Maps wasn't a thing. You couldn't just find a Tish McGev cabin back in those days. Anyways.
I mean, there were phone books.
Yeah. Well, would they have Tish McGev business in there? Maybe they would. Who knows? Maybe they would. So he gets out there, sees the Tish McGev. The McGev makes a morning, like asks if she's seen Angel, and he says, "Yeah, you see that pile of dust over there?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just kidding. He's at the cabin." Well, that's a good joke. Gunn turns towards the cabin, and then the Tish McGev attacks. Not one punch to knock him out. It takes two. It takes 2 punches from behind to take down Gunn, but he didn't. So, Angel had been watching all this from the porch. He knows what's up now. Angel has everything figured out. The McGev guy starts laughing. Says, it's daylight. What are you going to do? Well, unfortunately, the Tish McGev had left a fishing pole right beside the cabin door, and I guess Angel has spent lots of this time becoming a master angler because he hooks the guy through the cheek and reels him in, which is kind of fun.
I sure.
Yeah. So
Sure.
it's morning over at the Bryce house too. Wesley, waking up. He's not going to do the coyote ugly thing, but he is going to try and get up and sneak out of there. But he immediately gets found by Cordelia.
It's Cordelia suddenly there.
Cordelia has a history in the show of showing up just in the nick of time,
That's true.
wherever
That's
it is. Wesley and then Virginia is going to get up. I guess maybe at some point he had told her, it's like, hey, I gotta get going. You know what I mean? We got to make this thing look good. So Virginia comes out. He introduces Cordelia to her as his employee. That is his employee, Cordelia. And to her credit, she doesn't immediately just tank him, say, what are you talking about? Employee, she kind of rolls with here, but whatever. Wesley isn't leaving with her either. He says he has to protect Virginia. He was just going to, get up here in the morning or whatever just to make it look good. But Mr. Bryce and the goon are going to show up right then, as everybody seems to do. Everyone is, it's at that point in the movie where they got to get the conflict here so they can get the resolution here at the end. Mm-hmm. It seems like Cordy was tested security. She says they failed miserably. This is like Wesley's excuse when they see her. And she said, Bryce said, no. I ordered them just to let her through for whatever reason, so that he knows that, so he can tell Virginia that this guy's a fraud. So the goon is then going to push Wesley into the sunshine. And this is finally the one thing that makes Virginia go, oh, you're not a vampire. Not all these other clues.
Other clues, no. Just the sunshine.
Yeah, no powder for Wesley. And then Wesley finally says the truth and stuff like that. And she doesn't take his lying betrayal all that well, it seems at first.
Wouldn't think.
Yeah, and then also she says to him, this is a killer. She says, I finally thought I had made a friend. 30 years old. Wow. Already, making friends pretty easily. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you follow along with what I'm saying. So anyways, Cordy is delicately going to let him know that he screwed her over. Then they're all get ushered out. He's like, get out of here. Bryce gives the goon Benny. Turns out his name. It took that long for us to get a name for this guy. He gives him crap for almost ruining the sacrifice. Adelia. Oh.
Sacrifice.
The sacrifice. Yeah, he needs security for the party of his life. Virginia's too. So, maybe for all the things where Virginia noticed all the things on West, but didn't pick it up. I guess she maybe had been picking up some things about her dad. Yeah. But she's not very good at deciphering all these clues that she
no, she's
seems
not.
to get.
She's
no,
definitely not.
Everyone's back at the hotel now, and everybody's stories get told to each other. Angel gets a, you were in Virginia line. You know what I mean? They had to. It's Jane Espenson at her witty best. Wesley says the party's...
Is that witty? Is that really witty? Come
on.
Stop.
So Wesley says the party's happening right now. And I'm imagining this is midday. We never actually see if the sun is there and stuff like that.
Probably.
Yeah. It's all about this big tribute to the goddess Yeska. Angel knows that the Yeska isn't a goddess. She's Davric demon. This is something maybe Wesley should have known too, to be fair.
Yeah, I would think that's something Wesley should have known.
It's a very specific demon. They eat live sacrifices and give great power to the person who gives up the sacrifice or to makes the sacrifice possible on their 50th birthday. It's the only time I guess she doesn't. Well, maybe a little contrived. Maybe a little contrived. So Wesley sits down. Is going to take charge on plans. Wesley's he's still wearing the coat around there. Angel is going to stop him. Say, hey, who's the boss? And then says, well, we'll just do exactly what you said we would do. Those are probably good plans. Asks for his coat back on the way out. Now, we get to the party. Mr. Bryce welcoming all his guests. All these guests that should know what's going on, by the way, because there's this big thing, this big evil-looking thing with handcuff stuff on it. Starts beginning the ritual. Virginia's going to get grabbed here, and then some of the guests, when they grab her, seem scared. What are you scared from? You know what's happening here. Yeah. You monsters. You
got
human
invited
monsters.
to a sacrifice party. Were you not expecting a sacrifice?
Yeah, there's cake after. The cake will come after. Don't worry about it, Kathy, or whoever your name is. So, he starts anointing her head with some water, but the Angel Bunch have now stepped in once again. Just in the nick of time, it seems. Fight starts. Wesley knocks out that goon guy with one punch. All of this could have been settled before because he knocks him out with one punch. Anyways,
lazy writing.
The West is going to try to free Virginia here, but Mr. Bryce is kind of snuck off behind the thing. He's still been doing that ritual. He hasn't stopped at all. Now, this big ugly demon shows up with awful, ugly looking teeth. Then it's like, all right, here we go. And says, this sacrifice is impure, ritual over, and gets the heck out of there. Mr. Bryce questions, what? You're not a virgin? Like, oh, maybe Wesley is a hero after all. He hired Angel to begin with because he heard that Angel's a eunuch. So Angel has to spend quite a lot of time throughout the rest of the episode just telling people that he isn't a eunuch. It's something you'd want known, I imagine. He, to her point, Virginia starts saying, hey, I haven't been a virgin for a while there, Dad. She says, do you remember that chauffeur when I was 16?
Oh, my God. Why did they have to make her 16 for that?
Why aren't the authorities looking for that chauffeur as we speak? Yeah, not cool at all. Well, she said she never had any friends. Seems like she could make friends. Seems like she's been making friends before. Anyways, Cordy's impressed that Wesley was Angel for a day and already got some action. Which is weird because the episode before, they talk like Angel says, well, you were with a bleached blonde last night. Seems like Wesley's having no problems. He may be single, but I don't think he's lonely.
Yeah.
Wesley Wyndam-Pryce, if you know what I mean. Anyways, it also turns out Virginia dated some robe guy who starts sneaking out behind them and stuff like that, which is a pretty good joke. So then she feeds him a left cross, her own dad, for wanting to kill her. Yeah. Which seems fair. She had told Wesley that her dream job would be to, I think it was working in a coffee store or a tire shop. All right. Like most privileged young women would like to do. Anyways.
You wouldn't want to work in a tire shop.
Yeah, basically. So now she's decided she's emancipating herself at 30 years old or whatever she is. She says, you're not my father anymore. And once again, Angel just stresses at the end of all this that he's not a eunuch. So just keep that in mind. Now, we see at the end here that West and Virginia have made the gossip rags. Those magazines that Cordelia
there's
gets.
way too many of those magazines.
Yeah.
And I can
So
totally
yeah.
understand Cordelia
Mm-hmm.
reading them.
Yeah.
That seems like
So
something she'd do.
yeah. Well, she's a little jealous that that he's getting all this attention
Mm-hmm.
from tabloids and stuff like that. Angel's getting uh, a little jealous too because it says that Wesley is a bodyguard to the stars. It says Angel Investigations.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting a little petty here at the end. But like we said, that's the end of that episode. Next one, Darla. Like we said, Darla features a bit of an origin story in it. It's not just for Darla, which you do see as well, because this show loves an origin story.
Yes, it
So
does.
we will talk about that next week. Adelia, thanks so much for filling in for a certain councilman who couldn't make it. Tell everyone what you're up to. You spent like 4 some hours with the guy last night.
I did.
Yeah.
We did a watch along last night of the Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition. Me and Ferris. We started it at 9:30 p.m. Pacific. It was a late night for me. But that's up on the channel now. Coming up, hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow, depends on when we get them out. Probably the Happy's Place reviews and Stumble reviews will be back for the last episode and for the episodes that air tonight. And next week, we are doing the Two Towers watch along on Friday. So check that out. And I believe that I am filling in for Ferris next week as well. I'm not sure. So I might be back on the Rewatchers Council. And in case you missed the social media post, the MCU Rewatchers Council on hold until the new year. We want to give an appropriate amount of time to Infinity War and what comes after that. So with the holidays going on and everything, just not enough time to focus on it. So yeah, the big snap that happens in Infinity War. So we're going to bring that back in January. That's all on this channel. And then over on Good Friends Better Rivals channel, which you can get to by going to goodfriendsbetterrivals.com, Snark and I will be doing Starting 11 on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, talking about the Premier League. And then I'll be on a Steel Conspiracy with Shug at 7 p.m. Pacific, talking about Broncos, Steelers, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
We will not be covering any midweek games on Starting 11 at all. We're gonna forget. We're gonna forget they ever happened.
Nope. I'm sorry. We can't do that. We absolutely have to cover
I'm gonna snap.
Nope. Not happening. I know Chelsea lost, but you have to talk about it.
I'll talk about it with my therapist. I'm gonna talk about it with my Tish McGeff. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for showing up. So yeah, Darla next week. Rewatchers Council Buffy edition. Fool for Love, an absolute classic on that one as well. I can't wait to talk about either of those episodes for goodness sakes. And of course, yeah, I'll either be crying or raging on Tuesday for Starting 11. Thanks everybody for watching and or listening. I guess this is also an audio podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks to the audio listeners.
Now, in the words of the Tish McGeff, everyone likes and subscribes, and we'll see you all next time.